My name is Cynthia Jolicoeur, and I'm here today to talk to you about what I do in my life now, which is I teach good people just like you how to be safe in a very dangerous world. Is it okay with you if I tell you how I arrived at this place? Yes. Well, I used to be involved in corporate America. I was in high tech for years and years and years during information systems technology. And then I had children. And I actually left the high-tech world and devoted myself to being a stay-at-home mom. And I raised 4 kids. And I didn't really think too much about what I wanted to do once they were older. But when my oldest son was 4 years old, my husband at the time took him to a martial arts school and enrolled him in classes because Alex was just full of energy and he could explode and not get himself back together. So I would go to his classes with him and sit on the sidelines and watch. I had to watch because I was hugely pregnant at the time. And I watched him, this little tiny boy, learn how to kick and to punch and how to come to attention and bow. And I listened to all the instructors talk about self-discipline and respect for other people. And I heard them do the student creed and say that they were going to use what they learned in class constructively and defensively to help themselves and their fellow men and never to be abusive or offensive. And I sat there on the sidelines and went, wow, that's awesome. I want to do that. So 3 weeks after my daughter was born, I signed up and I became a white belt at age 33. And for years, I went to martial arts classes, not just once a day, but often twice a day, every day of the week. And I'm standing here today as a 4th degree black belt. So it's been quite a journey, and I've shared it with my children. But when Alex and I were training for 1st degree black belts, we were having a seminar, and this man named Tony Blauer came to teach us. And he came in, and what he talked about was very different from what I'd been learning. What Alex and I were learning was how to do forms, sequences of choreographed movements. We were learning how to spar with people who would sort of feed us attacks that we could defend against. We learned about eskrima sticks and how to do all these fancy things with sticks. I was lucky because as an adult I got to learn about knives and how to fight with knives, and I got to learn how to do gun disarms. But I always wondered, could I really do any of this stuff in the real world? If I was out in the real world and I got attacked, could I pull this stuff off? And I really doubted that I could. So when Tony came in and taught his SPEAR system to us, and what he talked about was self-defense includes everything that happens before an incident kicks off. It includes mental and emotional preparation. It includes knowing what bad guys want and what they don't want. And it's not about being prescriptive and saying, if somebody throws a right punch at you, then you should block. Or if somebody gets you in a headlock, you should do this. It was about, let's give you options. And I like that idea of options. So after my black belt test, I started exploring Tony's world and eventually went to train with him. And I got certified to teach his program, and that's what I do now. And the reason I teach it is because I want everybody to know what I've learned, which is that it doesn't take 20 years of training and mastery and black belts for you to learn how to defend yourself and to be safe in this world. Self-defense is not just physical, it's mental and emotional and psychological. It's about choosing safety when danger is imminent. It's about managing fear. And we all live in fear, right? But if you make friends with fear and you turn it into fuel for action, then you're absolutely unstoppable. And that applies in a safety situation, but it also applies to decisions that you make, I don't know, like maybe going out on your own to become an entrepreneur and leaving the safety of your corporate world, or applying for a job, or asking somebody out on a date. So managing fear is huge. And the last thing is that I love the idea of options. We're all creative beings. We can all think on our feet. We can all improvise. And what I teach in my courses and what I talk about in my speaking programs is how to do that, how to tap in what you already know and what you already can do, but that you don't know that you know. So that's why I'm here, and that's what I teach. And I hope that you'll come to my website, which is primaltactical.com, and check out all of my programs. Thank you.